Naruto, 10 wishes Pain would make on the Dragon Balls. Pain was one of the most dangerous villains in Naruto, and there's no telling what he could have achieved if the Dragon Balls were in his possession. Naruto became one of the world's most popular anime franchises because it told a grand story that featured a ton of action, emotion, and character development. Some characters were written better than others. And Nagato aka Pain is quite possibly the best written character in the entire series, which is why he is also arguably the series' best villain. The Dragon Ball series is also popular. And of course, the Dragon Balls themselves play an important part in the story. In total, there are 7 balls, and when they are gathered together, they can summon a massive eternal dragon who can grant a single wish. Nagato experienced a lot of pain when he was alive, but he also caused a decent amount of pain, and if he had access to the Dragon Balls, he would definably use them to either achieve his goal or to rectify the past. 10. He would wish to resurrect Jiraiya. It was Jiraiya who trained Nagato, Yahiko, and Konan, and he taught Nagato that his sensitivity was a strength because it allowed him to understand other people's pain. Unfortunately, Nagato experienced unfathomable pain when his friends were betrayed, leading to Yahiko's death. This event transformed Nagato into the pain fans know, and he ended up killing his former teacher as a result. After speaking with Naruto, Nagato sees the error of his ways, and he agrees that Jiraiya's version of peace may still be possible. As a result, Nagato regrets killing Jiraiya. So it would make sense for him to use the Dragon Balls to revive him. 9. He would wish for the entire Leaf Village to be rebuilt. Many fans consider the Pain arc to be the best arc of the series, and part of the reason for this is that the stakes were extremely high. After learning Naruto's location, Pain pays Tsunade a little visit, and when she refuses to cooperate, he decides to unleash a massive Shinra Tensei that destroys the majority of the Leaf Village. This resulted in the death of hundreds of villagers, but he ends up sacrificing himself to bring them all back to life after speaking with Naruto. This is a great gesture, but those villagers still had to see all of their homes and belongings destroyed. So using the Dragon Balls to completely restore or rebuild the village wouldn't be all that surprising. 8. He could have wished for every Jinchuriki to come to the Akatsuki willingly. If Naruto's life is any indication, being a Jinchuriki can be tough, especially when an organization like the Akatsuki is hunting them down. Pain wanted to collect all the tailed beasts so that the Akatsuki could bring about true peace, but to do that, the organization's members needed to defeat 8 Jinchuriki. No one likes being captured. So it makes sense that every Jinchuriki fought back. However, if Pain had access to the Dragon Balls, he could have simply wished for all the Jinchuriki to come to the Akatsuki willingly. 7. He could have wished to have all the tailed beasts from the beginning. Some tailed beasts are stronger than others, but they are all extremely powerful creatures who can wipe out a village single-handedly. Pain's goal was to collect them all and use them as weapons in multiple conflicts which would have left the world weak enough to conquer, thus bringing about peace. This was a good plan. But the toughest part was actually gathering the tailed beasts, who apparently needed to be collected in a specific order. If Pain had the Dragon Balls, he could have wished to have all the tailed beast placed in the Geto Mazo statue from the beginning. This would have saved a lot of time, and it would have significantly lessened the Akatsuki's casualties. 6. He would wish to get rid of Obito. Pain may have been the leader of the Akatsuki, but it was actually Obito who was calling the shots while he was pretending to be both Tobi and Madara. When they first met, Obito offered to help Yahiko's original Akatsuki, but after his death, Nagato accepted his help and steered the organization in a different direction. Obito never really seemed trustworthy. And when he told Nagato and Konan that his plan was almost complete, it should have raised some serious red flags seeing as the two clearly had different goals. This would have eventually led to a conflict between the two. But if Nagato had the Dragon Balls, he could have avoided it by wishing to seal the masked man somewhere he couldn't escape from. 6. He would wish to get rid of Obito. Pain may have been the leader of the Akatsuki, but it was actually Obito who was calling the shots while he was pretending to be both Tobi and Madara. When they first met, Obito offered to help Yahiko's original Akatsuki, but after his death, Nagato accepted his help and steered the organization in a different direction. Obito never really seemed trustworthy. And when he told Nagato and Konan that his plan was almost complete, it should have raised some serious red flags, seeing as the two clearly had different goals. This would have eventually led to a conflict between the two. But if Nagato had the Dragon Balls, he could have avoided it by wishing to seal the masked man somewhere he couldn't escape from. 4. He would wish to eliminate the Deva Path's 5-second interval. The Deva Path was able to manipulate attractive and repulsive forces, which meant that Pain could push or pull any object or person. This power is strong enough to destroy an entire village, alter landscapes, and repel all forms of jutsu. Every jutsu has a weakness, though, and the Deva Path's weakness is that once the ability is used, the user must wait 5 seconds before they can use it again. This 5-second interval is ultimately how Naruto beat Pain, and the Dragon Balls could have eliminated the interval altogether. 3. He would wish for the Rain Village to prosper, be left alone. If Jiraiya were still alive, he would probably be helping the Rain Village since it was Nagato's home. The Rain Village was the source of all of Nagato's pain, which is to be expected since the village and its surrounding lands are always caught in the crossfire of major wars. When Nagato became Pain, he killed Hanzo and became the village's secret leader. In doing so, he ended up protecting his beloved village alongside Konan. If he had access to the Dragon Balls, Pain could ensure his village's permanent safety by wishing for the other ninja villages to leave it alone, which would allow it to then prosper. 2. He would just wish for peace. Jiraiya believed in peace, and he longed for the day when the endless cycle of hatred in the world ended, and Nagato wanted the same thing. That all changed when Yahiko died. As Nagato began to believe that peace could only be achieved if the entire world experienced pain. If the Dragon Balls were in his possession, there is no doubt that Nagato would wish for peace. This peace would depend entirely on which version of Nagato made the wish though, but it is safe to say that the world would prefer not to suffer first. 1. He would wish to bring Yahiko back. Yahiko was Nagato's best friend, and when he sacrificed his life to save Konan, Nagato could not deal with the loss. All of the pain that Nagato caused came from that moment. And it didn't help that Konan went through immense pain as well. Nagato would have done anything to bring Yahiko back, as evidenced by the fact that he turned Yahiko's body into the Deva Path. Of all the possible wishes he could make on the Dragon Balls, bringing Yahiko back would be the top priority, as Konan would also get the man she loved back.